So why do we care about crypto? Cryptocurrency is one of the only things I know of that's actually making the world a better place. It's the best performing asset class that's ever existed, and it can get the government's dirty, grubby hands out of the money printing business. We have the separation of church and state in the United States. It's worked out very, very well, and we should have the separation of state and money printing, which it kind of tried to do with the Federal Reserve because it's not actually federal at all. It's a private company. You know, they've got truth in advertising laws that make it so that you can't just stick the word bank in your company name. There's some other restricted words as well. So I find it a little bit odd that you can have a Federal Reserve that's not federal, it's not the government, it's just a private company. What is out there that's really making the world a better place? We've got eggs at all-time high prices. They're now on average $5 a dozen in the United States. We've got the dollar at nearly all-time low purchasing power. The things I see that are getting better in the world, best performing asset class that's ever existed, cryptocurrency. Your bank doesn't have 100% uptime. Crypto kind of does. Bitcoin kind of does. Ethereum kind of does. Hex kind of does. Your bank doesn't. Your credit cards don't. Electric cars are the quickest things, at least Teslas, the quickest and safest things. It's very nice. We don't have the infrastructure to support them at scale. There's not enough charging. There's not enough cobalt. The cobalt that's mined, it's not mined in that pretty of a way. There's a lot of poor folks getting their hands dirty to mine that cobalt, I hear. Now, I don't know whether that's the best thing they could do with their time, and maybe that's awesome for them. Maybe that very crappy job is better than dying with no job. I'm not sure. Rockets that land themselves, cheaper global internet, SpaceX does both of those. Quickest, safest cars have ever existed. I mean, the Tesla just fell off of like a 250-foot embankment in California called like Devil's Peak or something. Everyone walked away. A lot of other cars have done that trip. Nobody walked away. I like CPUs. They're getting better. Don't really care about GPUs much because I don't game, so they're just useless to me. Like, I don't use GPUs for anything. I always buy the most expensive one and never use it. It's very wasteful. GPUs are getting better. CPUs are getting better. Chat GPT, kind of like AI kind of stuff. It's getting interesting. So why do I mention this to you guys? If we can get cryptocurrency to be fully adopted, then the government won't be able to go to war with the money that they steal from the citizens. Every single day, the government steals your money, not by stealing the units of the money, but by stealing the purchasing power of the money. So you've got the same units, but your units don't buy anything because no one needs your money, because the government's got the printing press in the back printing all day, every day, and it goes to their friends, not you. So their buddies are getting all that fresh new money hot off the printer before the inflation's hit. It's called the Cantillon effect. And then you get it last. And so a funny saying I saw on Twitter was, you got an $1,100 stimulus check, they got $20 trillion and gave it to their friends, and now you're stuck with the inflation. So you got $1,100, their friends got $4 trillion, or really 20 trillion, some huge number of trillion. And now you've got all-time high prices. Now, something that I know, the Federal Reserve has two mandates. It's called dual mandate. One is to keep inflation at 2%. The other is to make sure everyone has jobs. Making sure everyone has jobs is a pretty hard one to do because printing or not printing money doesn't actually hire anyone. And so right now, they know that the inflation's too high. A couple days ago, they did a survey of all the people that are on the board of deciding whether interest rates are going to go up or not. And they all said, yeah, we're not going to lower rates in 2023. And so as they raise rates, it makes money more expensive, literally. So people with mortgages that have adjustable rates have now 2 or 3x their monthly cost of paying a mortgage, which for you people who aren't in America, mortgage means home loan. People are living day to day. They don't have in their budget or their earning potential an extra 2 or 3x on the largest expense they have, which is their housing. It's basically going to cause a lot of people to get foreclosed on. We also see the steepest decline in home sales, I think, in history in the United States. Home sales are down like on average 40%, I believe. Now that's not dollar figure because the dollar's all inflated, that's the number of sales. So the number of sales has fallen 40% this year compared to last year. That's a big fall. The Fed, in order to fulfill its dual mandate and get inflation down to 2%, is going to have to keep raising rates. If interest rates keep going up, then the stock market should keep going down. If stock market keeps going down, Bitcoin should keep going down. Which, by the way, if you look at the Grayscale net asset value, their stock price trades at 47% less than the value of the Bitcoin the trust holds. And I warned everyone, if you think buying the Grayscale Trust discount at 10% is a good deal, you're going to hate it when the Bitcoin price goes down and the discount on the stock goes down, and then you get killed twice. The Grayscale discount kept getting bigger, and the Bitcoin price kept going down. And so now everyone that tried to buy the 10%, oh, what a deal, I'm getting 10% off, ultra wrecked. And I don't know when that will stop. If it does stop, I don't know. I think crypto will, my guess is that crypto will bottom before stocks, and then we will have the golden bull run. I don't think Bitcoin's bottom was 15,400. I think it goes to 11K. I don't think Ethereum's bottom was 880. I think it goes deeper, 600, 300. And Hex is interesting. We've never really been correlated with any of these things. I don't know if we are now. People forget this, but when Bitcoin dropped 55% from 65K down to whatever, 28K, Hex went up 30x during that same time period. That's a 60x difference. That's massive decorrelation. And that was a year and a half ago. So Hex has a history of being decorrelated. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, just recently, Hex went up 50%, I think, in the last week. And I think it did it while everything else was pretty flat. If it's the bear market and all everyone does is press sell, then okay, everything's going to go down. But the last time it was a bear market and everything else was going down, Hex went up 30x, and that's a lot of X. So if we can get cryptocurrency adopted, governments will not be able to go to war with what they stole from the citizens. And that's what we have now. They go to war with money that they printed out of thin air, stealing the value of your money, instead of having to pass a war tax that everyone would say no to, and then we wouldn't go to war. So if you want more freedom and you want more peace, getting governments out of the money printing business is a great idea. And if you don't like $5 for 12 eggs, getting government out of the money printing business is a good idea. And by the way, how would you argue against the world's best performing asset? I mean, I got into Bitcoin when it was 50 cents. It's now $17,000. That's a 34,000x. It's not bad. Is it weak gains now? Yep. It's 13 years old. There are people that bought 5 years ago that are now down lower in price. You could have paid 20K at the end of 2017 for Bitcoin. Now it's 17K. So it's, I believe, at the top of its S curve. And I think that the run up you may have in Ethereum will be similarly limp because the numbers just get so heavy and so massive as the price runs up. I mean, the market cap of Ethereum right now is probably more than half that of Bitcoin's. The same limp gains that Bitcoin ran into earlier are very likely to be what Ethereum runs into next cycle, when it probably will flip Bitcoin.